Hey, what's up guys, Houston here, and for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my faithful patrons, double salute. Now, someone asked the question, Houston, what's the fastest way that I can build business credit if I'm starting from scratch and I'm wanting to build a new company? Alright, so what I want to do for you, I'm going to break this down for you in 3 steps, okay? Now, many of you all know I'm not a big favorite of net 30s, okay? However, certain net 30s can give you more leverage than others, and so we're going to explore those. But the first thing you want to do, and this is step 1, first thing you want to do is set up a corporation, okay? Now, for those of you that may not know or understand the correct way of how to set up a corporation, or if you're going to be able to set it up in the right state, the reason I tell you should set the corporation up in your own state instead of states like Nevada, Wyoming, Delaware is because a lot of your states are providing you with stimulus money, so you can miss out on that. A lot of financial institutions, they're wondering why you a foreign entity and you're in this state but your company is in another state. Another thing that you have to understand, if you're not actually doing business in that state at least 6 months, then you can be piercing the veil and having no protection. Alright, so that's the reason that I tell you, set the corporation up in your own state. Alright, that's number 1. Number 2, you want to open up a business and personal bank account. Now, some of you are like, well, why do I need a personal bank account? The reason is that you want to be able to leverage, okay? And you want to be able to build up your internal score with these financial institutions. The reason is because the more accounts you have with a financial institution, and you may have a low credit score, then because you have multiple accounts with them, like a deposit, a business account, personal account, you may have secured cards and things like that, that builds up your internal score. So they are more confident that you would be the one that's willing to, or may be capable of paying back the loan or paying off the credit card, even though you may have challenging credit. So that's number 2. Now, speaking of that, what we want to do, we're going to start here. Let's look at what financial institutions we should be opening up our business bank account with, because this is going to be very important. Alright, 1, you have Amex. Alright, and the reason we want Amex is because they report to the SBFE, the Small Business Financial Exchange. Now, right now, this may not seem important to you, but it's very important when you're trying to get business financing, business funding, okay? Not net 30s, but business financing, business funding. So this is the reason this is important for you to do this. So if you want to build a relationship with American Express, okay? Now, the good thing about American Express, although they do not offer personal accounts, all right, how do you build a relationship with them? I have a video, put a link below, and you can actually get access to that video that shows you how to actually build that relationship with American Express. Now, here's the thing about it. Having that business bank account with American Express, which is actually open through Cabbage, because American Express is owned by Cabbage, okay? Again, this is data that they're going to be pulling to help you qualify for a business credit card, okay? Now, number 2 we're going to talk about is Capital One. Alright? Now, I know that I've told you I'm not a big supporter of Capital One because they put multiple inquiries, 3 inquiries they pull from all 3 credit bureaus. It is possible for you to maybe lock at least one of those credit bureaus so that you can only get 2 inquiries. However, just the same, Capital One pulls from all 3. Okay, now here's the reason why Capital One is so important. All right, it's because they report to Experian Business and Small Business Financial Exchange. I need you all to really pay attention to this. This is more important than Dun & Bradstreet. Okay, I know a lot of you all, when you think about building business credit and stuff like that, you're thinking about net 30s, Paydex score, Dunn's number and stuff. Well, the truth of the matter is, this here financial institution, this is more important than Dun & Bradstreet. Okay, not saying that Dun & Bradstreet is not relevant. I'm just letting you know that this here company is more important than Dun & Bradstreet. All right, so now we got Capital One that reports to Experian Business and Small Business Financial Exchange. Number 3, we have Chase. Okay, now Chase, they report to Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange. So they report to a lot of people. That's going to help you build up your business credit, right? Now, the good thing about Chase, a lot of business credit cards, you don't need perfect credit. Most business cards, even with Chase, sometimes they have approved people with business credit cards with a 660. But again, they're using that internal score as well. So that's the reason I tell you to open up the business account and the personal account with these financial institutions to build that relationship, because you may have a low credit score, but because you have all these other accounts open and stuff like that, you may have a higher chance of being approved. All right, so Chase. 4, you have Citi. Okay, now with Citibank, they report to Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange. Also, they report, I think they report to, if I'm not wrong, if anybody has a Citi account, do you know, I know they report to Experian, Equifax, Small Business Exchange, but do they report to the National Association of Credit Management? Okay, I don't know that for sure. All right, so number 5, you have Discover Business. Discover Business, they report to Experian and Equifax. Then you have after them, you have Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo reports to Small Business Financial Exchange. Now, the challenge with Wells Fargo, a lot of people, or the confusion they have, is that they wonder if Wells Fargo reports to Dun & Bradstreet. They do not report to Dun & Bradstreet. Dun & Bradstreet picks this data up, okay, from other companies, and they'll put it on your file, or you make an if you have a Dun & Bradstreet credit builder or whatever, and let them know that you have these type of accounts. If they'll report it, sometimes they will, sometimes they don't. But at the same time, like I said, with Dun & Bradstreet, when it comes to business credit funding, don't always think that that's your go-to place. You don't necessarily have to lean on Dun & Bradstreet in terms of funding. And I'm talking about like lines of credit, loans, Visa, Master, American Express cards, okay? So that's the reason I'm breaking this down. All right, after you have Wells Fargo, you have PNC, you have SunTrust, and they report to Experian, okay? So they report to Experian And PNC also reports a Small Business Financial Exchange. Now, some of you all said, well, why am I focusing on these particular banks? And why am I focusing on the Small Business Financial Exchange? Well, here's the reason. Some of you that have small businesses, when the pandemic started and everything, you tried to apply for the PPP, the EIDL. Okay, you may have qualified for the PPP, but when it came to the EIDL, you did not qualify. And it was because it could have been two possible things. You either had a credit score lower than a 620, or you didn't have a Small Business Financial Exchange file. Okay? These are when you're trying to figure out what's going on, and a lot of underwriters, they may not tell you this, but these here are some of the most, these here are probably the top two things that happened to why you didn't get the EIDL loan. Not the grant, the EIDL loan. Okay? Now, again, if you was a person that was denied the EIDL loan, then they gave you up to 6 months, up to 6 months to reapply. So that means to try to get your credit score back up, as well as to fix this situation, all right, so that they can actually have some data to pull off of. So that's some of the reasons. Also, the thing about it is some of you all, they wanted to do a 4506T, and some of you all didn't have taxes. So for them to actually see what's going on with the business, because they wasn't able to pull the taxes, they couldn't help you. All right. So that's the reason that you need this. So that's step number one. This is step two. All right. So step two, you do need, I wouldn't say you need, but I would tell you, I would do this. I would add these type of net 30s. All right, and these are the ones that have the biggest impact to help you with building your business credit file. Okay, the number one thing that helps you is building a relationship with these financial institutions and making weekly deposits. Number two is the back doorway to help you. So when you're talking about net 30s, the ones you want to start with, you have the you have the NAV, right? So with NAV, you need to have a business boost, or you need to have a business loan builder. Now, NAV does not report to Small Business Financial Exchange. However, they report to Experian, Equifax, and D&B. Alright? So NAV is one. Then you have Crown Office Supplies. Now, Crown Office Supplies is very important to help you build up your business credit. Now, here's the thing about Crown Office Supplies. They're going to report to Experian, Credit Safe, Small Business Financial Exchange. Okay? Experian, Credit Safe, Small Business Exchange. Alright? So these are some of the ones that they also report to. They also report to the National Association of Credit Management. Okay? So they report to that. Then you have Shirtsy. Alright? Now, with Shirtsy, they report to Equifax, Experian, Credit Safe, and also Small Business Financial Exchange. Alright? You don't need a whole lot in their 30s. I know you're probably wondering, well, how come I didn't start with with Granger, Seaton, and Uline? Again, you want things that are actually going to have an impact on the financial institution that you're building a relationship with, because this will build up the business credit in order to help you get qualified for funding much faster. So that's the reason that I'm sharing this with you. Okay, now Xerxes, they also report to Ansonia, as well as the National Association of Credit Management. Okay, so that's 3 here. Then your fourth one, your fourth one is WISE business plan. Okay. Now, WISE, they report to Experian, Equifax, and D&B, right? Now you're saying, well, Houston, I don't need a business plan, okay? And I understand that, but if you're an individual that's trying to, say, raise money to buy a franchise, or you're an individual that's trying to get an SBA loan and stuff like that, a lot of times you need a business plan. And so, yes, you can write up one, and yes, it would be cheaper. However, because the business plan you may create will help you get the funding, but in terms of what's going to happen on the back end. And it's not just the business plans they offer other products and stuff, but to be able to get that trade line to report on your business credit file. Now, some people ask me, well, can I buy trade lines from other businesses? You could, but here's the thing about it. If you're a new business and you buy business trade lines that are older than the company, you can have your business credit file flagged, okay? And how big of an impact on your business? It just depends on the financial institution. Because if you set up a business today, but you got trade lines from that aged your business 5 years ago, they're like, wait a minute, how is it possible? So you have to look at the logic in that. So that's the reason I want to explain this to you. All right. Now, here's some other ones. You have AT and T. Now, we're going to talk about bootstrapping, all right? Because some people have set up their accounts and stuff, and they have got phones and equipment through AT&T. And so what they'll do, they would get those phones and stuff up front from AT&T. They would go sell those phones, put it back in their bank account and stuff to help funding their business. It's called bootstrapping, okay? And that's one strategy. Now, there's also another company called Quill that can help with bootstrapping. Now, for those of you that may not know why Granger, Seaton, and Uline is not more important than Quill. If you do know why Quill is more important, then put a comment below. Because most people don't think Quill has value. Quill has a lot of value. Okay? And it actually can help with bootstrapping your business. Alright? This is more important. I would think this is more important than Granger, Seaton, and Uline. Alright? Because they have more components to actually work with to help you build up the business credit as well as fund your business. That's the reason Quill is so important, because if you get that account, you can actually utilize some of their products and stuff to actually fund your business, okay? So I can't say that directly out loud or whatever, but it is a component that they have to actually help you. All right, now let's talk about step 3. Now step 3 is business funding, business credit, building the business credit side of things, okay? So this is where you have your starter credit cards and everything. So if you have bad credit, then you may want to start with the Wells Fargo Business Secured Card, okay? You may want to start with that card, all right? However, say that you have bad credit, but you have a good relation. We talked about Capital One, okay? So with Capital One, all right, they have the Business Classic, right? A lot of people make this mistake is because Capital One may approve you for, say, a $500 business credit card. They start acting like, "Babe, well, I don't want to use this, only $500. The reason you need to use the card, one, it's going to help build up your business credit. Number two, it's help building a relationship with the financial institution. And by you using it, paying it back, get gas, pay for advertising and stuff like that, the more you use it and stuff to build that relationship. Because remember, I told you, who do they report to that's going to help you out? They report to Experian and Small Business Financial Exchange. So it's going to help you build that file, okay? So if you want larger lines of credit and stuff and building a relationship with American Express, and you have this is going to help build up that file, because American Express, they report to Small Business Financial Exchange. So if they report to them, they're going to check that file as well, okay? Now, can you get business credit cards without actually having a business? Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely, you can get a business credit card. However, if I were you, I would actually set up a business. And again, if you need help understanding the proper way to set up a business, as a matter of fact, you should start trying to set up your business now, because if you set up your business now, come January 1st of 2022, then your business will actually be 1 year old. So if you need help with that, click the link below, set up a consultation with three-way funding, because if you don't, you're just going to miss out on an aging of your business, all right? And so aging of your business definitely is important, okay? So that's the reason you want to do that. Now, coming back to step number 3, you have companies like, fintech company like Divvy, and they do a softball, all right? Then you have Brex. You have, like I said, because they don't have an impact on your credit, so depending on your credit score and stuff like that. Now, you also have Capital on Tap. Capital on Tap is on fire right now. They're on fire because they are really helping a lot of small business owners. Okay? So I would definitely check out Capital on Tap. They also do a softball. Now, another one we was talking about is First National Bank of Omaha. Now, I did not put them up here, but First National Bank of Omaha, they're a very good financial institution as well, both on the personal side as well as the business side. Okay? So I would not dismiss them. They do have a business secured card as well. Again, if you're trying to build a relationship, an internal relationship with them. Now, another card is, I'll put it right here, Ramp. Okay? And they're going to do a softball as well. And it's no PG. So now you have 3 steps. I know that a lot of people that's been in these business credit programs, got all of these net 30s and stuff, and they still have not obtained their goals. So with that being said, if you're trying to understand business credit, build your business credit up, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a freelancer, if you're driving for DoorDash and stuff, the purpose you want to do this, one, to keep more money in your pocket instead of paying all the money out for taxes. But number 2 is also to use it as leverage, okay, to expand for investments, real estate investing. More houses are starting to come on the market. A lot of people trying to become real estate investors. They're trying to get into cryptocurrency. So opportunity to build up business credit so you can get into those other investments. So this is Houston with three-way funding. Again, If you have any questions, click the link below, schedule a one-on-one consultation. For those of you that's just finding the YouTube channel, please comment, like, and subscribe. For those of you that's been supporting me as well, salute.